Thank you for having me here this morning. We know we are at a period of time where climate change isn't a question, it's here. The droughts in California and in our own Cascades make that point. We know that carbon emissions are altering our planet and that the problem is only accelerating. That 3 out of 4 abnormal heat days are a result of climate change. And we know that we can do something about it. I want to acknowledge the Governor for his leadership in bringing the issue of carbon emissions and climate change to the forefront of discussions in this state. And we know sometimes it takes a while to get things done in Olympia. Olympia was wrong on marriage before they were right on marriage. They're wrong on carbon emissions, but they'll get right on carbon emissions. To prevent the full force of climate change, we need not continue with the past. It's time to turn the page. Things like oil trains and coal trains and oil drilling rigs are the past. It's time to focus on the economy of the future. Clean energy, electric cars and transit, green homes, and a vibrant, environmentally progressive business community. If it were up to me, there would be no place for Arctic offshore oil drilling equipment in Seattle. And I know recently people over the last year have been worried that I want to take over the school district, and recently people have been urging me to take over the zoo and the port. But actually as mayor, I don't control either one. But I did request our Department of Planning and Development to review the permit that the port has. And I would like to read the following statement. Today, the Seattle Department of Planning and Development will release its findings in the review of the Port of Seattle's land use permit for Terminal 5. After talking to the port about its plans at T5, and after reviewing the 20-year-old permit for the operation of a cargo terminal, DPD has found, and I concur, that the long-term moorage and maintenance of Arctic drilling equipment falls outside the current permit. The Department of Planning and Development has determined that the port's proposed use is not a cargo terminal, and therefore the port must apply for a new permit. I expect the port to obtain all required city permits before any moorage or work begins at T5 on shell drilling equipment. While requiring a new permit may not stop the port's plans, it does give the port an opportunity to pause, an opportunity to rethink this issue. I urge them to consider, is this really the right use of Terminal 5, even for the short term? Does this use reflect the business climate and the businesses that we want in the future? This is an opportunity, I believe, for the port and all of us to make a bold statement about how oil companies contribute to climate change, oil spills and other environmental disasters, and reject this short-term lease. In Seattle, as in the rest of Washington State, the biggest contributor to global warming is our transportation system. It's our cars. We've made some pretty big strides, but we have more to make. Last year, the voters in the city of Seattle said yes to bus transit. It will be the largest increase in bus transit in the city of Seattle since the system was created in the 1970s. When it's fully up and running in the late fall, 50% of Seattleites will live within 10 or 15 minutes, will live within walking distance of a bus that comes every 10 or 15 minutes. That's doubling the current size. And last year, we also stepped forward on parks. which is another incredibly important way that we can contribute to the environment, but we have to do more. I propose Move Seattle, a proposal that will be hopefully on the ballot should the council choose in November, that will increase our ability to build grade-separated bike tracks. It'll increase our ability to create corridors, true bus rapid transit throughout the city, moving buses around the city quicker and faster. It will also deal with issues of sidewalks and other things that we need to do to make growth happen right in Seattle, to make it a walkable community, to make it a healthy community. In addition, we face a challenge in the environmental community. And last week, or 2 weeks ago on Earth Day, the city launched our Environment and Equity Initiative. Too often, the benefits of our environmental gains over the years in Seattle have not been distributed equally. If you live in certain parts of this city that are poor, and usually in the South End, if you live in a neighborhood that is predominantly people of color, you are not benefiting from what the rest of us are benefiting from. And we only have to look at many of the organizations that do such incredible work on the environment and know that we have work to do in diversity. So I ask all of you to join with me and with the city as over the next year we look at how we actually make our movement, our environmental movement, merge with our movement on social justice, that we make the environmental movement of this city reflect the diversity of this city. This is a city that has the most diverse zip code in America. 125 different languages are spoken in South Seattle. It is time that 125 different languages and faiths make up our environmental movement. I look forward to working with you all on this effort and others in the year ahead. Thank you very much.